Hey sweethearts, it's Saturday and I'm Amber and this is Dante, who's in this video for a minute. Our topic this week is pet peeves. So, like a lot of people, I have quite a few pet peeves, but I'm going to talk about 3 non-trans related pet peeves and then 3 trans related pet peeves. So my first in the non-trans related pet peeves is bad drivers. Currently, I commute about 35 minutes to work every day, so on a pretty regular basis, I experience bad drivers, and it's one of the things that annoys me the most because I find a lot of times on the highway that the reason that there are slowdowns or the reason that there are accidents often is because someone wasn't paying attention, or someone was doing something else while they were driving, or they were texting, or trying to change a CD or pick a new album on their iPod, and that if people would just pay attention and follow kind of the conventions of the road, that my commute and everyone else's commute would be a whole lot better. Second one for me is people who are really self-centered, especially people who are oblivious to the way in which they affect other people. I had that experience recently with somebody where they had no concept of the ways in which they affected other people, and then when I kind of brought it to light, they were pretty angry at me, and I'd like to think that down the road a bit that person might realize that I wasn't completely off base. But that's one of the biggest frustrations for me, is people who are just so self-centered and lost in their own world that they can't even realize how much they are hurting other people or causing strife or issues in other people's lives. The third pet peeve for me is bad customer service. We are in a world where we're constantly having to call for one thing or another. At least that's been my life recently. I just started a new job a few weeks ago, so calling for different things job related or about things from my old job that are still outstanding. And it's amazing to me how bad customer service can be sometimes. And most times when folks call, like, I'm just looking for you to answer my question and to give me a reasonable answer. And then if I'm asking something that you can't do, to say, I can't do that and here is why. But so often people are just like, well, no. So it's one of the things that frustrates me the most is bad customer service. Of the trans-related variety, I don't have a whole lot of trans-related pet peeves, and I think the 3 that I kind of came up with that annoy me are kind of related. The first is the folks who feel like there's only one way to transition, that there's one specific path that everybody has to take, and people who put down folks who go a slightly different route, and that kind of bleeds into my second trans-related pet peeve of people who are bullies and folks who say, I don't understand why you're doing it that way because everyone's supposed to do this first, or everyone's supposed to do that second, or everyone should see this type of doctor, or everyone should have top surgery at this person because they're amazing. And not realizing that everyone has their own reasons for doing what they're doing. And so it's extremely annoying to me to see, and it doesn't happen a whole lot in the partners groups that I'm in, because I'm in a couple different partners groups, but every now and again there's someone who's like, well, your partner should have done this first. And sometimes that's from a place of, if they would have done this first, it would have made it easier for them to do this next step that they're trying to accomplish. But there are other times where people are like, well, I don't understand why they did that, because they should have done this first, because that's how it's supposed to be. So that's frustrating, and it kind of combined 2 into 1. And the other one for me is, and Chu and I have talked about this a lot in terms of where he wants to be after, or as he finishes transition in a few years, that it's frustrating to me people who don't give back to the community, and people who say, well, I've transitioned and it was great, and now I'm going to be stealth, and I'm never going to talk about being trans, and I'm not going to help out any other trans guys, and I'm not going to offer any suggestions, support, guidance, anything. I fully understand if people want to be stealth, because sometimes in life that's what you have to do, but there are ways that you can still give back to the community and that you can still help out those younger guys who are having the same issues that you may have had 5, 10, 15 years ago when you were just starting the process. So those are my 6 pet peeves that I'm going to focus on. Like I said, I have lots of other ones, but those are kind of the main ones. I think we're going to be talking about stealth and visibility stuff next week. We're still kind of in conversation about what it is, so if I'm wrong, then tune in tomorrow to see what Naya has to talk about and go from there. So I hope everybody has a great week. I know it's supposed to warm up here in Ohio, so I hope wherever you are that it is beautiful and spring-like, and we'll see everybody next week.